everyone, this one is going to be a combo of yoga, Pilates and barre. So grab a mat. It's going to be a barless bar though, so you won't need a chair. Weights if you have them, but really don't worry if not. And we'll get going. As ever though, listen to your body. If it doesn't feel right for you, then skip it out. We'll soon be moving on, or just modify it. Right, let's get warm and let's get going. So just going to get the hips moving first. So opening through one side. And then we'll go through the other side. So this one's going to have a lot of goddess squat or sumo squat in. So we're going to need to open out into these hips. So with all things barre, we tend to get a good burn on, so do come out of the position sooner if you want to, or come up in between if I'm holding in positions and you don't want to be. Last one. Feet together, and we're just going to turn out and in. And come off my mat. I'm not used to being on carpet. So you're opening and out. So here, there shouldn't be an intention into the knees as you turn out, so you might have a narrow turn out, you might have a wider. I'm just going to turn sideways. As ever, with all things Pilates, we think about that lengthening the tailbone down. So we've got ribs stacked over hips. We're still going with the turn out, by the way. But check you can still breathe into that belly, okay? We've lengthened, but we're not sucking in, because that would make us grip on with our abdominals and our diaphragm, and then we wouldn't be able to breathe freely. So, hold into your first. And we're just going to releve lower. You can add arms if you want to get them going. Few more. And then we're going to do standing cat-cow. So do half roll down, chin to chest, soften the knees. Arch your back foot forward, coming to your cow. Tucking tailbone under, roll through the spine, lift between the knees to your chest. And again, ankle lengthen and tuck it under. Roll it on back up. And we'll go one more there. Chin to chest, roll it down, suck the knees, lengthen forward for your cow. Draw the shoulders down here, tuck it under for your cat. And then ankle forward. Tuck it back under, full roll up. Full roll down, so imagine you're peeling off that wall. Chin to chest, ripple through that spine. Roll it down, knees as soft as you need here. Release the head at the bottom and stack it on. Back up. Okay, let's get going with our goddess sequence. Oh, it's really funny teaching somewhere different. Right, so we're going to come into a wide stance. So with our goddess or sumo squat, again you're thinking about, so turn sideways, lengthening tailbone down, so you've got that gentle rib to hip connection. As you sink into your sumo or goddess, you want to push the knees backwards so that the knees travelling where the toes are. So try not to be collapsing on those arches and then rolling in. Press it out. If you can't press out because of access through the hips, just angle the toes further forward. Okay? So find your happy goddess pose or sumo. Lengthen that tailbone, we're going to come down and up. So I'm going to be hitting the beat, you don't have to, and you might have shallow, or you might be able to work deep into range. So see what works for you. You could have weights in your hands here if you wanted to, you could hold them out, you could take them overhead, out to side, short lever, whatever works for you. Keep going here. This is going to be a burny bit, okay? You know you love it. Right, next we're going to plie in and out. And we're going to start on the right leg, coming in. So we stay in our sumo squat. We plie in, we come out. Okay, and we're going to hit the beat. 4, 3, 2, 1. Plie in and out. So you should already be feeling that standing leg, the glute, with me particularly, is working. 4 more. 4, 3, and then we're going to come back to our goddess. And 1, hold your goddess. We're going to turn it to a lunge and back to goddess, okay? 4, 3, 2, 1. In, turn it out. Again, same with arms. You could have weights. You could have hand onto this front leg. So that's going to be knowing it's working. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it into your lunge. By all means, come up in between if you want. Widen your stance so you're nice and stable. Still checking where you've got that lengthened tailbone. We're going to lengthen and fold. Double time. Up, down. So really press the floor away, legs are nice and active. Should turn the heating off. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. We're coming back into our lunge. We're going to stride forward for a chair and come back to our lunge, she says, falling over. Okay? 4, 3, 2, 1. In, back. So you might want hands on front leg. You might be keeping it nice and shallow. You might be working into range and not hitting the beat. See what works. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to step that back leg forward. Come to figure 4 chair squat. Okay? Hands where you want. Connect with that breath. You can keep it still or lower the pulses. Oh, that support leg should be burning. Good work. Keep breathing. We're going to stride it back, come back to our goddess. And we're going to come down and up. That leg should be knowing that it's worked. Check in, you're still lengthening that tailbone down. As you breathe in, you can still direct the breath down to that belly. Draw the legs up on your return. And we've got that delight to come on the other side. Oh. Definitely should have turned the heating off. Again, you could have arms forward, arms out. Short lever, whatever floats your boat. So we're going to come back to that plie. This time we're going to be stepping left leg into the right. So we plie second, plie first. Okay? 4, 3, 2, 1. Plie, plie. Still think about those knees heading wide. 4 more. 4, 3, and we come back to that goddess. 2, 1. Hold it here. Returning in with the left and opening. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn it in. Open goddess. We're smiling. Still think about that tailbone lengthened down. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here to get that balance. And from here we're going to lengthen through both legs and come back. Lengthen and back. So you can take it at that pace or double time it. Again, lengthen through both legs. Back leg fully active. 4, 3, 2, 1. Next we're coming from that lunge. We're stepping forward to our chair and back to lunge. Take your hand option. 4, 3, 2, 1. In, back. So this can be nice and shallow or slow it down. Take the full range. Or fast. Keep breathing. 4. You got this. 3, 2, 1. We're stepping that back leg coming forward. Sit yourself back into that figure 4. Still think about that rib to hip connection so we're not sunk down. An option staying still or little pulses. Woo. Can't look. Turn my head and keep my balance. That should be burning. Right, open back up to that goddess. Press the floor and come down. Keep going here. We're going to catch our breath. Option, hands out with weights or without, or keep them low. More abdominal challenge would be taking them forward with weights. Has that burn eased off? Hope so, because we're going to go back for the burn, okay? We're going to hold into our goddess. I am going to grab my weights for this one. And my mat's on the wall. Okay. So, coming back into that goddess. So rib to hip, lengthen that tailbone down. And check you breathing into that belly. So arms can be low, forward, open, short lever, lengthened, or whatever you fancy. We're going to go heel up and down, stay with the same leg. Try not to come up, try and stay low. And of course we're breathing. Pop right up and down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. So don't forget you can do whatever you want with the arms. Just make sure you're breathing. And shoulders down away from the ears. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to alternate. Up, switch. Still try and pop right up onto the ball of the foot. And again, whatever you want to do with the arms. You know it burns. 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet down. Press the floor away. Nearly done with the standing section. We're going to come parallel, okay? I'm just going to turn to the side. Let's see with the tree line. So think about hips coming to ribs to lengthen tailbone down. Still breathing into that belly though. We're going to sit back into squat and come back up. All working in parallel. So arms can come high. Or if you found that scrunches up with the shoulders, just take them forward or keep them low. So, we're going to hold into our next one. Pulse it. And we're breathing. Now this is a point where the arms might get heavy, so you can shorten lever or lower them down. So see which you prefer. Breathe. Those toes should be nice and light. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press the floor away and give the legs a little bit of a wriggle. Right, we're going to come down to the floor and do an abdominal section. So you won't want weights for this bit. So coming down onto your mat. Just check you can see all of me in this room. So I'm going to go on the angle because what we're going to be doing, I'm going to show you, we're going to be propped unless you don't like that for shoulders, in which case come to the floor. If we're propped though, we're not sinking into these shoulders, you press the floor away, but you've still got that hip to rib connection, so into a neutral. So we're going to fold up, double tabletop, and from here we're going to lengthen and open to a V. We're going to close back down, so just make sure you've got room for your feet, okay? So take your startup position, and you can keep knees bent if this just doesn't feel nice for you, okay? So pressing the floor if you're lifted, imagine that peach between chin and chest. We lengthen, we open, see how symmetrical you are one side to the other. And the whole time this rib to hip connection doesn't shift. Breathe. Keep going. See how open you can make that V. So you should have a quiver on at the end if you're trying to work in sort of wide, stretch the feet nice and wide. Any point comes down to the floor if the shoulders don't like it. Stretch. And back. And again, stretch. Back in. We're going to swap it. We're going to go for double leg tap. So with this one, strong control on abdominals. So as you breathe out, you're tapping feet down and breath in to return. But you're really looking for nothing shifts. You don't want the ribs to pop or lower back to arch because then nothing's working through the middle. So establish that rib to hip connection. So you're thinking hips comes to ribs. Breathe out to tap down. Breath in to return. That's too strong. Lower your feet towards your bottom. Tap closer. And then just see where you can get to feel that abdominals working, but you're in control of it. Breathe out. Breath in. Breathe out. Breath in. So abdominals should be quivering now. Breathe out. Breath in. And again, breathe out. Breath in. Breathe out. Breath in. And the reason we say breathe out on the hardest part is because then we know your pelvic floor is nice and active. So we've got pelvic floor, deep abdominals, and the breath all working together to support the pelvis in terms of not allowing that pressure to force downwards. One more, you got it. Brilliant. Coming back in. Have a little wriggle. We're going to come to a side plank series. So, option weight top hand with this one if you want it, but really not needed. You're going to be working hard enough. So, side plank series. If you come onto one knee and you teapot over. So take quite a lean here. So option weight top hand. We still want to think about that neutral here, so you're still lengthening tailbone down or bringing hips to ribs. So we've got a neutral through our middle. Option weight up here. We're going to lengthen top leg, ground through that foot and tap off with the bottom. If that bit's a bit too much, just even trying to, you're going to feel those obliques firing up. So we lift, lift. So what you're looking for here is this rib to hip connection stays nice and strong. So it's only the legs that are moving around. Puts a lot of load into this bottom shoulder, so just check that the hand is just slightly forward of the shoulder. Keep breathing. You've got this. Really, and I keep saying I should have really eaten up. This room's got the largest radiator of all the rooms, and it's the smallest room going. Last one. Press the floor away. Have a little wriggle, and we'll swap over. I can't believe I just talked you through radiators in my house. So, taking that lean. Am I going to still be on camera? Just about. So make sure you're well forward with that hip. We're not stuck to this one. Rib to hip connection, so lengthen tailbone down. Ribs aren't popping forward. We lift and then lift bottom. So float, lift. You will want this bottom hand quite far forward, otherwise it's going to throw your weight backwards. Float, lift. And I'm probably a little bit squinched up on here to make sure I'm in shot. So I probably want my front hand a little further forward and with a bit more lean so that my top hip's not stuck up in the air. As long as it feels good for you, crack on. So you're in control of that rib to hip. So we're not letting the ribs flare forwards. As we go, still breathing. exercise on this one, as I'm sure you're feeling. Keep it going. 4 more. 4, 3. Never sure if the countdown's helpful or not. 2. And last one. Good work. Press the floor. Give those arms a little wriggle, because we're going to come to everyone's favourite press up. So we're going to work with tricep press first, so we want the arms nice and narrow, so make sure we work the triceps harder, and then we'll come to wide. So I'll give you options. If you have got a chair accessible, you can do them onto a chair. You can do full if you're happy with that. I favour, you can do box, so you're from here. You want to look well forward, elbows stay tucked and you're coming forward here and pressing up. Or you can lengthen through the hips, hands under shoulders, spread the fingertips, press the hips forward, still look well forward, elbows tucked right in, press the floor. Your focus is that rib to hip stays the same on the way down and the way up. So do a few repetitions here and then press back to child's pose. I'm proper sweating now, so I hope you've got a good sweat on. And then we're going to work from child's pose fully into our press forward. So press the hips, look forward, press it back. Or whichever level you're working from. You don't have to come to the floor. You could come a little way and press back. You want to make sure you keep that neutral, that rib to hip. 2 more. Last one. Rest it back. Get off those wrists if they need a little wriggle. And then we'll go to bicep bias one. So again, you can do this against the wall, onto a chair, or stay in 4-point kneel. So with this one, hands are slightly wider, and this time the elbows come back on, you're thinking about making a arrow shape. So they come back on about 45. So your focus is still keep that rib to hip connection, that neutral. So you're bending through the elbow and pressing from there. So you can do box, walk the hands, press the hips, or you could be full. So you're down on that 45 with the elbows, press back up. So your choice, whether you do 2 or 3 repetitions and then press back to child's pose, or whether you just do a single and press back. See how many you can do here. Keep going. Do look well forward, that keeps your chest lifted. 2 more. Last one. And rest it back. Do give those wrists a little wriggle. And then we'll have a bit of a stretcher. So we're going to come down to downward facing dog, so do give those wrists as much TLC as they need after that loading. So, hands well forward of shoulders, toes are tucked, hover the knees, press the bum back, get that long line through your hands, shoulders, hips, release the head, think about lifting the tailbone really high, and then see where you can lengthen through the legs. Paddle out, make sure you breathe in. And then taking your right knee, bending the knee, and lifting that knee to the ceiling, open that hip out. You can be lifted onto tiptoe at the back or you'll drop down. Try and keep pressing squarely through the hands. And we're just going to take that knee round a couple of times and pop it back down. down. Other side, we'll just have a quick chill in child's pose if the rest need a breather. So other side, bending the knee comes high, open through that hip. Keep pressing squarely through the hands, and then a few circles. And pop that leg back down. We're going to come forward and sit on our bum, so you can either jump it forward. Seated cat-cow. So soften off that sit bone. Glide the hands forward, look down onto the lap. And then inhale, drop the shoulders, arch the back, looking up. And again. Inhale, breathe out. In, breath up. Breathe out. Breathe. Bring the knees into centre. Lengthen out through your right leg. Sit nice and tall. You can keep that foot where it is, or you can cross it over, your choice. So right hand's coming over, and then you're opening up. So you should have a twist going on. I should have gone the other way first, you can see. Sorry, team. Catch the breath here. You can keep that back arm still, or you can sweep it up and tap it down, just to see if you can feel any areas which feel a bit tighter. And if you do, you might want to just have a little wriggle in that range. And then coming back into centre. Before we swap over, we're going to come to boat pose. So you're going to roll off that sit bone, bending one knee and your other. You can keep hands for the floor for support, or you can lengthen out. Squeeze the knees together is going to help. You might have hands down. We can just go for an alternate lengthen. One final abdominal challenge. 2 more. Good work. So this time we're going to have left leg out long. Sitting right up, so foot just round onto the floor, or you can cross it off, up and over. So left arm wrapping round and open up to the back. And again, you can keep that back arm still, or you can tap it down and sweep it up. And just see if there's any areas that you just want to have a wriggle in. Then coming back into centre, we're going to have a roll down to our mat and just curve a few bridge variations. So feet well away from bum, roll off that sit bone, breathe it out as you roll on down. Still in shot, just about. Okay, so open through those collarbones, nestle the shoulders down into the floor, feet nice and close to your bottom as it is comfortable for your knees, hands on the floor. So you can think about hips cutting to ribs to flatten that lower back, and then keep pressing through your heels, rolling up into your bridge. Squeeze the knees in together. You can stay here or interlace hands and come up onto those shoulders. Keep pressing through those heels though and drawing the knees in. We want the bum working, hamstrings working. We don't want to just press up through our rib cage. Catch that breath. You can come down at any point and roll on up, or you can hold. You can add a lift if you want. So dig in strongly through the right heel, floating left. Keep it bent or lengthen up. Few breaths and we fold. Other side. Keep strongly pressing up through that heel. You want the pelvis to stay nice and level. Keep breathing and fold and lower. And do your hands and roll it down. One knee towards your chest, and then your other, a little roll or a rock. the knees down on the floor. Take your hands out wide, palms up if you've got room. If not, keep the elbows soft. I'm going to have to till this wall. And we're windmilling the wheel, knees down one side. I'll go away from you so you can see. Normally we keep the knees together, but the top leg, see if you can draw back in line with the body. You can take hold of that foot if you want. And see if you can encourage that top knee down towards the floor, but only if the knee and the hip is happy. If not, ignore all that. Connect with that breath. Still think about tucking that tailbone underneath. You're really going to get that stretch through the front of the hip and that top leg. You're going to release that back. Windmill the legs up and over the other direction. And then either staying there or slide that top leg back. Taking hold of the foot if it's anywhere near you. Keep pressing the hip forward though and let the knee drift towards the floor. And only if all of that feels alright. This is a point where a yoga belt or a dressing gown cord or something around the foot can help you just guide it in if that foot's nowhere near you. Coming back with the knees and then into centre. And one last one. We're going to do butterfly lying down. So keep your feet together, roll out so the soles are together. And just turn palms up. If this doesn't feel comfortable into lower back, then again ignore me and I'd say have the feet wider and just let the knees drift. Or if you've got pillows, you can block them underneath your knees. So see what works for you. And then bring your awareness to the breath. So as you take that in breath, see if you can direct it down to the belly. Let the rib cage move to the side, forward, backwards. And as you breathe out, everything just nestles back down onto the floor further. So try and keep your focus on your breathing for the next 5 breaths. When your mind wanders, just accept that without judging it and bring it back to focusing on the breath. Give those wrists a little wriggle, gently encourage the knees back into centre. And then one lean towards your chest and the other, and a little roll or a rock. And then rolling onto your side and pressing yourself up. And we are done. I hope you enjoyed that. As ever, leave any comments and I will get back to you. Let me know what you want from videos and I will focus on those. But I hope you enjoyed and thank you for joining me. Bye.